Donc lorsque je flingue, c'est toute ma putain de nation qui flingue avec toi. Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
Welcome back, everyone. Poodle with 3 rounds. Coach Terry, Jab University. How you been, man?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Busy weekend with watching all the fights.
A lot of fights, man. There was a little bit of everything. You had the cut that just man, and then you had a great bout with Yokasa and Sinise. A great bout there.
Carmel go 8 rounds.
Carmel going 8 rounds, and he looked good, man. He took some shots, right? He was able to
take the shots. Yeah, I think I don't know how ambitious they want to be, but 8 rounds in your third fight, that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, and Floyd posted out that now he's like top 15 in box rec at 130 or something. So
yeah, they moving them fast, man.
They are.
Rolly got beat bad.
Yeah. Pitbull. There you go. So
he mauled him.
Yeah, he did.
He mauled him.
They talking Fundora and Spence. Is that the way you say it over there? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
We'll see. So today we're gonna go to California. We're gonna talk to a boxer that was just competing. It seems like he competes at every tournament. He's very active on the national stage. Oh,
drop my phone,
Coach Harry, dropping it. It's all good. So we're gonna go see what he's doing, and I'm just looking at the replay here. That camera went down.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in the chat. And hey, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here for a little bit. 3 rounds live. It's solely dedicated to amateur boxing, and you're doing a lot of things in amateur boxing at the national level, especially. But go ahead and say your name, city, and state, and the name of the gym that you train at.
Well, my name is Gudino. I'm from La Puente, California, and obviously my gym is La Puente Boxing Gym.
Yeah, definitely. I see the beanies. I definitely see the beanies. And I see the name right there all the time. Hey, there you go. First question I ask everyone is, how do you get started? How do you get involved with boxing?
I'm sorry, how do I what?
How did you get involved with boxing? How do you get started?
Well, I mean, my family we've always been involved in boxing. My grandpa, some of it my dad, and now I have my brother. My brothers are also one of my brothers are pros, and I just wanted to follow on, and here we are.
Okay. All right. So, with all that history in boxing, do you have a favorite part about boxing yourself?
A favorite part? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to be like my brothers. They were like role models to me. Seeing them all train in the gym is, I just wanted to be like them.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So I'm assuming you started competing, at the Pee Wee level, like real young, or.
Well, a funny story. I was the one in the family that started late. I started fighting like 2.5 years ago.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I was always in the gym training, but never competing. So.
And well, why was that? Being around boxing, training, like you said, you were in the gym. So what was it about it that made you start late to actually compete?
Well, I mean, my main fear was I wondered if the punches hurt and that was the main thing for me. But once I stepped in the ring and fought, I just this doesn't feel too bad. So let's just keep doing it. God gave me opportunities and I took them. So
there you go.
So in 2.5 years, how many bouts do you have?
I believe like 50, maybe 50.
Breakneck pace.
Yeah, that's 2.5 years, 50. That's wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of fights in 2.5 years. So being in the gym, coming from that long boxing lineage, when you actually got your first actual bout, was it a little easier to you since you've been in the gym so long?
Well, I mean, I always had the nerve, to fight and everything. But after that, I started getting experience. It just felt better. I started getting more comfortable in the ring. less nervous. That's why I'm trying to move my way up in the rankings and all that. But I
Yeah.
just feel good now.
Were you sparring prior to you ever deciding to actually compete?
Yeah, I would usually just spar, help the kids, but then I just decided to fight myself. So tried it out. And it's going good so far.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely. And you had some. You've been in the ring with some very talented boxers. In your age division and weight. Do you have a memorable bout or a bout where you know maybe it was a great win, maybe it was one that you learned a lot from? You got anything that stand out to you?
A good win. I mean, I think it was 2022. I think I won nationals in versus Damian Flores. That
Yes.
one, that one I learned a lot, and also the upcoming tournament I just had was versus Carlos Morales. That was a good fight to learn from.
Oh yeah. Both very experienced, got well seasoned
Yep.
Mhm.
guys. With 50 fights in 2.5 years, like how often are you actually competing?
Mostly just every tournament. Just we're trying to get the most experience I can get because since I started late, I'm a little behind, but we're getting there. So
Oh
learning
yeah.
and learning.
And are you getting bouts locally too?
Yeah, like my next fight is in 4 weeks for the Junior Olympics in
Okay.
district. So
Okay.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So, um, was it being that everybody in your family kind of took up the sport? Where was your dad saying something? It's like, hey, like you got to get started. Like, well, are you gonna do this? Like, did you have those type of conversations as you were doing? And did you do any other sports that maybe you focused on something else, maybe? Or tell us a little about that.
yeah, my main sport before was soccer. I was really into that, so that actually got my stamina up, my endurance good, and everything. But yeah, there was a couple conversations where people were like, "Oh, when you fighting? Your brothers are all fighting. How come you're not?" I would just be like, I don't know, because I was into soccer most, but
Yeah.
once I got put to fight, I just forgot about soccer and started doing boxing.
Okay.
Man. Uh, so when you got into actually competing with boxing, what were your goals?
My goals, I mean, just to use this platform to give God the grace, to do my best to share the word. But obviously, I want to try and win more nationals, fight against good fighters like that, but mostly that.
Okay.
There you go. And and you had your share of wins at the national tournament, and just tell us about just the preparation of getting ready for a national, going up. You know that whoever's across the ring from you wants to win as well. They probably experience and all that. How do you get ready to make sure that you're going to peak at the right moment at the tournament?
Well, as a training camp, or
Yeah, as a training camp, just to get ready
okay,
to bouts.
yeah, like, I always wake up a morning in the run. I always wake up early in the morning to run. Because a lot of boxers have said, you need to get up in the morning and run, get conditioned. That's where you need to have that last minute energy to show that you really want to win. So mostly I focus on eating healthy. Make sure school like junk or anything doesn't distract me. But obviously, I got to be a good scholar too, and focus on what I have to do.
All right. So you said you started out with a lot of nerves, and now that you're competing and competing at the national level, how do you overcome that nervous energy?
I listen to music. Just it calms me down. Just I'm in that moment, just trying to mess around with my friends just to let my nerves down. But once I'm in the ring, I'm like, all right, let's just do it. So I do what I've been doing. So let's just keep doing it.
What kind of music you listening to?
Usually Christian rap. Christian rap is mostly what I listen to.
Okay. Like Lecrae and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Real quick, 3 Ounce Live, number 183. talking to Asea Gudino out of La Puente, California. Currently ranked in the junior division, I think 101, but I think you're competing at 106 now. Is that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So and doing his thing, multi national champ, and continues to come back. And in the amateur game is not, you're not going to win them all, right? It's a lot about more about experience, how to deal with certain situations, to be able to overcome that in the following bout. But when you put in all that time in camp, you go in there and you win, you get to the semis or to the finals, and you don't get that outcome that you're looking for at the end. How's that ride home? How's those conversations with with coach, your dad, teammates about making sure that you learn from it, but you don't dwell on it too much, and you just get ready for the next one.
Yeah. The I always look back on what I have to do or what I have to fix, because every time I'm gonna fix something is when I'm gonna become better, and I know that the problems that I'm fixing, it will make me better, and we'll get to that next step. Obviously, when I if I don't get the outcome that I want, my mom has always said, when you don't get the outcome you want, that's the and you show your real emotion, that shows who you really are. So I don't come off the ring, very disappointed. Obviously, I wanted to win, but I just whatever the outcome is, I'm always happy with it.
All right. And so you're probably in the 2028 Olympic time frame. Has that crossed your mind?
Yeah, me and my dad were talking about it this one time. Like, we're gonna be in that age, so hopefully, we could get that opportunity. If not, then it's okay.
So when you started boxing, was the Olympics like a reality, or was it always be a pro like your brother, or just
I
do it
really,
to
I really didn't know about the Olympics until my dad was actually telling me about it. So I was like, oh, if I'm in that age, and if we get it, let's get that spot.
Okay.
Obviously, since I'm doing good in the amateurs, I want to try and get that spot now. So
Yeah.
hopefully, we get it.
And it's in LA too, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
there you go. There you
That's the
go.
good part.
Yeah. Right
Definitely.
down the street.
Uh, so I've seen you compete a lot. Just looking at some of your bouts, Coach Terry, I'm sure, has done the same. But if somebody hasn't seen you compete just yet, like describe your boxing style. What kind of boxer are you? What are you trying to do in the ring when you're out there competing?
I mean, my style is mostly like Mexico City style. Right there. If you need me to box, I can box. If you need me to brawl, I can brawl. I can do what the game plan has to be. So but mostly our style comes from Mexico City.
Like Ramonza Gym with the longer front hand and
Yeah,
the upper body movement, like Johnny
yeah, like
Gonzalez, Benito
Finito
Lopez.
Finito
Yeah.
Lopez.
Okay. Yeah. All that
Okay.
Nacho Bernstein coached all those
Yeah,
guys.
the
Yeah.
bachelor.
Zaragoza, all those guys. Yeah. Very familiar with that style. But what do you prefer to do? Box or bang?
Well, I mean, as a young kid, I mean, I love to brawl, but I love to brawl. But when I had a box, I mean, I had a box. So I like doing both though. I like doing both.
Okay. If you say
Okay.
so.
Now, boxing family. You're competing now. I'm assuming you watch boxing. You watch pro boxing. You watch amateur
Yeah,
boxing, or
yeah.
okay. Who are you watching nowadays on the pro side?
I like Arnold Barbosa. He's 140. I like how the way he boxes. I see him sometimes train in the mornings. I like seeing him. Like, dude, I need to learn how to box like him. I like how he boxes.
Okay. Okay. What about the amateur side? Do you maybe watch Team USA or any boxers when you're out there at the tournaments?
Um, I don't know. I don't think so. I just pay attention to myself. I'm in that mode where it's like I just focus on what's next.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
But you got a lot of like tough names in your bracket.
Yeah.
Like, Galvan's been in your bracket. Carlos Morales been in your bracket. You're one bracket down from Christian Paez. Do you guys like? Do you ever watch them prior to getting in the ring with them, sitting ringside?
Yeah, I've seen. I think it was Christian Paez once. He's a good fighter. I like the way he fights. But
Yeah.
it'll be cool to share the ring with them someday.
Yeah.
But
I think he's. I got you. At one weight class. I think.
I think he's 114.
Oh, he went up 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he normally fights at 110, I think. But yeah, he actually surprised me his last tournament because he had to like change his game plan. He lost the first round, like which I hadn't seen in a long time, and came back and just boxed. I was like, impressive.
So that brings up a question. Isaiah, have you dealt with some adversity in the ring? Have you got clipped with a really good shot? Maybe got you a little just not knowing exactly what to do next. Have you been in those positions, and how have you overcome those?
Well, I mean, knowing myself, I believe I have a good chin, But if someone were to hit me, I'd be like, that gets me more, like just gets me smarter, gets me stronger. It's like, all right, if you're gonna hit me hard, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you harder. You hit me with
Gotta get
3,
the get
hit me
back.
with 3, I'm gonna hit you with 4 or 5.
Oh,
So,
okay. Mexican style, right?
Yeah, you hit me once, I hit you twice. All right. So when you're training, like, do you have a particular drill or exercise or anything you like to do better than everything else?
Mostly just like core workouts, because I like to move my upper body. I like to move my head, counter, and do all that. So mostly just core workout.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were going to say spar, but core workout.
Hey,
Wow.
hey,
That's
that's the
that's
stuff we
also
gotta focus
you
on.
know where the movement comes from.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So talking about that, do you have a favorite punch? What's the the punch that you would love to land on your opponent?
Either I don't know the left to the liver or the left hook. One of those.
See, that's why he needs that core.
Yeah, yeah.
Core. Okay, I can see that. I've seen some of your bouts, and yeah, you don't mind trading, so I can feel that getting a little bit behind those shots, especially as you move up. Youth, you still feel feeling those shots a little bit more. Elite, obviously, so that's the right things to focus on to get that power.
Mhm.
Yeah. Since you come from more of a traditional boxing family, like the long lineage where the coach took care of most of, if not all of the training, um, with the rise of strength and conditioning, do you have a strength and conditioning coach or a program you do, or is it kind of just old school? The boxing coach tells you what to do and you do it.
Yeah, mostly my dad. He since he grew up in Mexico City, he knows a lot of workouts, and then he was a soccer player and also did boxing, so he knew a lot. And man, when we go to the mountains to run, we do exercises up there. Even doing drills here, it's a pain, but it helps.
Okay.
Uh, Talk to us a little bit about the gym. Do you have teammates that you travel with, the nationals? I'm assuming there's pros in there. You got some other pros that maybe try to see what they're doing to bring into your style. Like, just tell us a little bit about that, and some of the coaches who's involved in coaching some of you guys.
Well, it's mostly just my dad, but we're getting more teammates now for fighting. One of them is Angelo Lopez. He's 10 years old, I think. 60 pounds. He's doing good right now. Also, one of our little ones, his name is Jacob Guido. He's doing pretty good. And I think Ricardo Ocampo, he fought one of the Patricio brothers before. He did good, and it's a good fight before.
Oh yeah.
But in pros, and my brother, one of them might go pro soon, and then my older brother, Austin Gudino, he's 6-0 right now.
There you go.
And your dad handles all this training by himself?
Yeah,
A lot of work.
yeah, he's a tough man. I know.
Man, there
I
you
really,
go.
I really do appreciate my dad for what he does. He works
Man,
his body a lot for us.
man, that's a hell of a schedule he's taking.
Uh,
Man, that's crazy.
He does it all.
yeah.
Man, that's insane. So when does your brother, the older ones, help with you as well to take some of that load off your dad?
Yeah, sometimes, but when my dad also when they're in camp, my dad also focuses more on them, and
Okay.
we
Yeah.
also get helpers, to
Yeah.
not always put the pressure on my dad.
And so where are you getting your because I don't think anybody you mentioned is your size. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so where are you getting your sparring at?
In Jerry Ortiz boxing, or Shane Reed. Sometimes I would spar Carlos Morales too, but
Okay.
when we saw him in my weight class, we were like, "Oh, I mean, we can't
Whatever.
spar."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any man from any land. Let's get it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's the thing that I've seen. When there's two boxers around the same weight class, different gyms, they spar and they kind of improve better. But then when they start competing at nationals, they're in the same weight class, and I've seen some that
Yeah.
are okay with it. They go in and do what they got to do, and then when they come out, it's all good, like it was. But some that really kind of hold a grudge and kind of try to stay away from it. And
Yeah,
when they compete, there's a little bit of bad blood, unfortunately. So,
yeah,
uh, but it seems like you approach everything as just whoever's across the ring, and I just got to beat, and go from
yeah.
that. Just take us in to how you get ready for that. Like, you getting your hands wrapped. You're a couple bouts out. Uh, is there? Do you have like a little routine or something that you always tend to do, or how do you get ready to go through those ropes?
I just listen to music, I vibe. I'm getting myself in that moment. I'm just like, let's do it. I'm getting that adrenaline up. So when I'm in the ring, I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm ready. So mostly that.
And is there a lot of I guess talking from your dad, or does he kind of back off and let you kind of go through that process?
Well, he mostly lets me go through that process. He also gives me reminders on what the game plan is. But mostly he just lets me be in that moment. But once it's time to, like, we do pads or something, we also get in that.
And have you noticed, since you have brothers that box, that is their routine more or less similar, or does it differ drastically from yours?
I would believe it's also the same. They just listen to music. Also just get in that moment.
Okay.
Definitely, and uh, yeah, because you definitely get it. It's a very mental sport as well, right? You got to be the right
Yeah,
set of mind and get ready to do that. Um, so when you were mentioning some of the boxers from your gym, they're younger than you. So do you play like a role model type role? Like you help them out? Do they seek out to you for advice or whatever, or do you try to give them some pointers? Because you got some national titles. You're older. Is that kind of a role that you're already kind of playing with some of the gyms there, or with in the gym there?
yeah. I try and give the kids, a little, like, hints and everything on what to do, what they need to work on. Like, sometimes if they need something to work on, I try and do it in my sparring just to show them. I always try and help out, our teammates and our kids.
Okay, there you
Okay.
go.
Um, if you could choose any fighter in history to share the ring with, test your
Mhm.
skills against, who would it be?
Who would it be? Man, I would honestly say Juan Manuel Marquez. I like watching him growing up.
Creative counterpuncher, dude.
Oh yeah, one,
Yeah.
one of the best, most definitely. He's one of my favorites for sure. Love to see how he overcame. We're talking about adversity. He overcame a lot of that just in front of our eyes. And yeah, and they had the same kind of when you were talking about like you get hit two times, you're gonna hit him three, four times. He was
Yeah.
definitely one of those type of boxers as well. So um, I can definitely see the influences for
Hmm.
sure when I see you compete. So um, now your generation is kind of going through something that it hasn't happened before in the history of boxing. Essentially, you guys are growing up with the social media kind of entertainment boxing or whatever you want to call it. How do you think in the long run it's going to impact the sport? Do you think it's going to be a positive thing? Do you think a lot of people say that they're going to get more people watching, or do you think it's going to take away from you know maybe some of the paydays for boxers like yourself that are kind of dedicated to it? What do you think of all that.
Oh, I think it's true. Like, if you draw the crowd, I mean, they're obviously gonna want to watch you. There's a lot of talented fighters that might not have, the crowd for it, but it's obviously. But the people who don't have that much talent, they have the fans for it. So, I think social media will be like a big platform eventually in the future.
Also, do you think it would make talented boxers, dedicated boxers, people that are truly boxers, make a fool of themselves on social media to attract the crowd? Because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I've kind of noticed more and more people are tending to, even coaches
Yeah.
are making fools of themselves to get eyes, to sell fights and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, people always love to see trash talk. So, I mean, that's what people try to do to draw a crowd. So, I think it's gonna be like that in the future a lot.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, most definitely. I go back to like, you know, when I always think about trash talkers, and there's plenty of examples, but I always think of Mayorga, Ricardo Mayorga. We was trash
He
talking
was
all
there.
that time. He was
Yeah,
smoking and like that guy was wild talking about that. But hey, he sold tickets. You know, that's part of the whole thing in pro.
Yeah.
Uh, and
got rich in the process.
it there you go. uh, so Isaiah, I don't have to tell you, this is a very um, it's a sport that you gotta dedicate yourself to, right? It's very selfish in time. You always have to be trained. You always have to be doing that. But sometimes when training camp is going on, you don't want to go and do those extra runs, or maybe you're tired, or you don't want to do that extra set of
Mhm.
whatever you're working on. How do you stay on task? How do you stay focused on, especially in those times where it's easy to say, you know what, maybe I'll skip a workout this time.
Yeah. There's a lot of times where I feel like that. Where it's like, dude, I don't want to do this last rep, or I don't want to run in the morning. It's always that being lazy, but you always have to have that warrior mentality too. And prayer also helps me a lot. Prayer helps me a lot. I pray like, Lord, just give me strength. Let's finish this rep. Let's give me strength. I always ask God for strength, and obviously to do good in my camp, because I know the results He'll give me.
Okay, and knowing that this this sport is hard on your body, and
Mhm.
you guys have access to different things recovery wise than we did. We had like the ice bath, the Epsom salt bath. You guys got the hot tub. You got the cryotherapy. You got the massage
Yeah.
pistol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what steps are you taking to take care of your body recovery wise outside of your traditional stuff?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I use the massage gun, or sleep. Sleep plays a big part in boxing. You need sleep to obviously recuperate for the next training, or something.
Okay, and you're doing like stretching routines and stuff like that to
Yeah.
make sure muscles are good.
Yeah, like I would think like 10. I would warm up 10-15 minutes before I start training, just so my body is stretched out and everything.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Real quick, 3 rounds live, number 183. We're out in La Puente, California, talking to Isaiah Gudino, uh, currently in the junior male 106 division, and just came from competing at the Open. You were at the national championship before, always at the national level, and junior. You start the term in December. You'll be competing for spots, right? You'll be go to the OTC and train with Team USA and so on. Um, so you had mentioned that originally you did soccer, which is that's a school sport, or with some part district or some teams or whatever. Boxing is not doesn't have that advantage, right? You have to kind of go out there and search for a gym and kind of start that journey. Uh,
Hmm.
but school, school is important. You had mentioned about trying to be a scholar. How do you balance all that, making sure that you're on task with whatever you have to do, and then how understanding is the school when you have to go for weeks at a time for all these tournaments that happen almost every quarter, every couple of months? Like, Are they understanding? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little difficult sometimes when I miss a whole week off the tournaments and stuff, and then I come back. I'm like, oh shoot, what's this? I try and stay after school and try and understand what how to understand a problem or something. But mostly after training, I shower and then do my homework. I gotta balance things too because I can't not be a good scholar and then do boxing. If I'm gonna have to stop boxing and go to school, that'll be something that I have to do.
I remember one fighter told me they don't teach nothing new till I leave. So
Oh, that's
They're
wild.
lucky. They're lucky then. They're lucky.
yeah. So when you get in the ring and you're staring across, no matter who it is over there, what's going through your head?
I'm just in the moment. I'm getting ready. I'm in that mindset where like, all right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Me personally, I don't like when we're in the center of the ring together. I don't look at them because that could also throw intimidation towards me. So I just look down. Once if they want to talk or do stuff, I let my hands do the talking or something.
When they call your name, do you like stomp?
I
Do all this stuff?
go. Well, when they're calling my name, I go side to side, and then what's it called? I pound my chest and then give them praise to the Lord.
Okay, I mean, look like somebody. Some of those kids look like they're doing a whole step routine in the ring.
Yeah.
They do a whole thing. They look like they're a bull coming off the,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's a whole
There's so
persona
many
thing
different ones
Yeah.
nowadays. Yeah.
as well. So obviously, this sport consumes you. It's all boxing 24/7. It seems like, but when you're not in the gym, what are you doing with outside of boxing when you're not, you don't have a tournament coming up or whatever the case may be? What's Isaiah doing?
I'm mostly just helping out in the gym, or I'm with my dog. I'm relaxing, doing homework after a tournament. Like, if I gotta catch up in some things. But yeah, I'm a very disciplined kid, as because I'm happy my parents disciplined me a lot. Not going out to parties or doing everything. I'm very active. I like doing a lot of things. So.
All right. So you say you're a healthy eater, but do you have a guilty pleasure food wise that you eat when you're not? Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I could eat anything. Like people could call me skinny and everything, but dude, I
But
can
you're
eat
like a fat dude in a little
Uh,
body.
Yeah, when I'm not
That's
in camp, I can eat anything.
Oh
Like
man.
everything just is good. And then once I'm in camp, man, I get disappointed because I gotta stop.
oh man, yeah. It's enjoy that. Being a fat person, a little skinny body is the best.
Yeah. Well, I was a guy.
I'll catch up on you though.
I boxed with Marines, and world champion Jamel Herring was on the team with us, and we used to get so mad because he could just get to one because it used to be 141 was weight class, and he'd eat like a whole pack of golden Oreos all the time. When we're just in the sauna dying, looking at him like you open his door and beat you
Yeah,
up. Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big Oreo fan, man. So
Man,
Hey,
he
I
used to eat
heard.
the whole thing and still make weight.
oh man, that's wild. That's wild. So, one of the things that you have in common with a lot of guests that have jumped on is you have your dad right there in the corner, right? He's your
Yeah.
coach. So just tell us a little bit about that because it's a whole dynamic, right? Sometimes you're gonna bump head, you're not gonna see things the same way, or but you guys got to keep it balanced, keep it to a point where you guys can stay focused, keep on task, trying to get these goals that you guys are reaching for. So how is it just having him and just working it out, making sure that you guys are on the same page?
You know, I love having my dad as my trainer because I mean, not only that he's my father, but he's also a trainer, and it helps me a lot to understand what I have to do. He pushes me a lot, and but when I'm in the when we're both in the corner, we're obviously communicating like, oh, if I don't see this, like is it open, or whenever he's telling me to do a move, I'm like, okay, do I do this after, or it's I love having my dad as my trainer. Man, personally, my dad is the best trainer in the world. Anyone can have him. So
That's what's
that's why I love having my
shout
father.
out to dad, man.
Yeah, there you go.
and which is different from with a lot of some other people. Their dads are learning boxing with them. Your dad already knows it, so that's also an advantage I think you got there. That and you get to watch the mistakes your brothers made.
Yeah, that too. I always love seeing my brothers, spar too. They make my jaw drop. I'm just like confused, like what the heck? How do they do this? It also makes me learn stuff.
And believe it or not, since you're younger than them, you probably make them feel the same way. They're just not gonna tell you.
Yeah,
And man, I hope so, man.
So there's this like I guess new theory out there where people have you seen Boxing Science and Snack the Guy Victor Conti saying road work or distance running is not good for boxing or doesn't serve a purpose, but I've always and most coaches and do you still run miles?
Yeah.
Okay.
It helps me. Like I run every Saturday. We run in the mountains or something, or we do intervals. But it helps. It helps. I don't know. It helps
Yeah,
me.
the new science thing. I guess they're spitting out. I had Joe Diaz, who used to train Yori Boy Campos, told me, "It ain't for your body; it's for your mind."
it's definitely. I
Uh,
would think. Yeah, most definitely. It's. I think that's part of the sport. I don't know. I haven't heard this in particular, but I
Yeah,
think that's a little
Conti.
far
If you look it out, the guy that he was the Balco guy, and then he runs
right.
that supplement line. He bashes road work so much, but he wants the people to come train with him a lot. But yeah, he really bashes the road work and the distance running.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Uh, just real quick. On Thursday, we're gonna have Orlando Zamora out of Turlock, California. We're gonna talking to him and see what's going on. But today we're talking to Sea Gudino, La Puente, California, La Puente Boxing out there. So, um, what's your ideal situation in the next 5 or so years? Is the Olympics a big enough goal that maybe it'll kind of keep you around the amateurs? Say for whatever reason 28 doesn't pan out, would you stick around or would you maybe make that transition to into the pro?
I would think, for me it would if I don't make it, if I do make it, that'll be amazing. If I don't, then I think we'll go pro. That's the plan. If we don't make the Olympics, then we'll probably just go pro and start getting it done in the pros. So
Yeah, yeah, get them belts. Yeah.
yes, sir.
I just want to ask your opinion because the kid's not much older than you, and he just fought 8 rounds on Saturday. What do you think about Carmel, man?
He's good. I like him. He's my brother fought him in the amateurs a couple years ago, but I like him. He's pretty good.
I think it's kind of ambitious to be 17, already fighting an 8 round fight. That's kind of
Yeah,
brave.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they navigate him properly, correctly, because there's been a lot of incidents when maybe they get rushed a little too quickly. I always think of Fernando Vargas, and it seems like they put him into the lines then too quick. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm sure he's proven himself, and he'll be ready for it. Uh, so you said your dad's there. It's a big influence. Do you see yourself kind of taking the torch and becoming a coach later on? After you do conquer the pros. Like, do you see yourself coming back and maybe getting the next generation ready?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would like to, like to continue the generation of the gym. Since my dad owns it, I would want to help out. But obviously, I would love to, be a coach, be an influence, help the kids out. That's mostly what I like to do. That's why I
And
like being active.
yeah, and one of the things, because as Coach Harry knows, you got football, you got basketball, you got all these other sports that are taking these kids out who could do things in boxing. How would you approach some of the younger kids or younger generation to maybe try boxing? Because boxing is not a school sport. You kind of taboo a little bit sometimes. But how would you convince them to what give this a shot?
Yeah, there's a couple kids at my school where I'm like, you guys should just try that. They say it's hard and everything, but every sport is gonna be hard. But if you give it a shot, then and if you like it, maybe you'll be good at it. Like three of my friends from school, I made them join another advanced class. So
Hey, there
we'll
you
see.
go.
Man, you should be the recruiter.
Yeah.
Um, outside of, I guess, boxing being a family thing for you, what else attracted you to the sport?
Um, I mean, I grew up in the gym mostly. Just I think it was always in family. I always just saw my brothers in the gym and going to the gym every day. I basically just grew up in the gym, so mostly it
So,
was just me wanting to be like my brothers.
so it wasn't like the idea of coming from a team sport to an individual sport. It was just it's already here, so I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, God gave our family an opportunity to do boxing, so he's opening a lot of doors for us. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. And do you have or do you ever think about maybe burnout, like maybe doing too much boxing to the point that you're like, fall out of love from it, or is that just doesn't exist in your mind?
I mean, there's always been times where I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, there's always been times where it's like, dude, I don't want to do it. But obviously, prayer is a big thing in my physical and spiritual, and mentally. But yeah, there's always been times where it's like, man, I don't want to. This is too hard. But obviously, where if I want to take the opportunity to be good, then I just got to do
Also, there's never too much boxing.
No, yeah,
it. Good.
hypothetical, yeah.
Yeah, never too much boxing. Um, so you've got all of the big name promoters, right? Not Joe Schmo, but like Bob Arum.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Sitting across the table from you. And they're like, tell us why we should sign you. What do you say?
I just be like, man, that's a good question. I just be like, give me a shot. I could give people a show. I could bring people in. I train hard for a reason. I'll give my best. I'll bring in the crowd if you need me to. I know mostly that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
Yeah.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
should work on that all the time.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
coming soon. So you're going to.
I mean, this whole interview is kind of like a prequel to where you'll end up doing. You know what I mean? So it's uh, especially since you're consistently at the amateur level. You're you're going to be around the other boxers that are going to be potentially competing for spots for the team. You've been in the ring with some top boxers already. We mentioned Carlos Morales. I think Khalil Harvey at some point
Yeah,
as well, back in the intermediates. So and you held your own, right? You come out on top. And you gaining that experience as well, and you can only get better as you focus onto it. Uh,
yeah.
what is the one thing that anybody who wants to try the sport needs to have, in your opinion, to really, oh, overcome those spots where it gets a little tough to continue with the sport? What do you think somebody needs to have? Because the skills will come, right? You just go in the gym
Yeah.
and you continually doing, but you need a little bit more. What do you think that is?
You need confidence. I mean, confidence is a big thing because if you bring yourself down, you're not gonna have confidence in yourself on what you want to do. If you have that confidence to like me, I'm having the confidence to fight all these good boxers that I didn't know I'll be fighting. And now, sometimes I come out on top and I learn from them too. So mostly you just gotta have confidence in what you do.
And that comes by somebody that doesn't have it or has very little of it, just stepping in the ring, or how do they develop that?
Yeah, I would believe like sparrings and everything. You doing good in sparrings or learning from them. It would really give you an opportunity to like, oh shoot, I can do this, I can do this, and that's how you can get better.
All right. So you have a magic wand. You can fix anything about the sport from the fan perspective, coach perspective, media, from the boxer's perspective, amateur or pro. Have at it.
If I were to fix one thing, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think everything's cool right now. I like boxing right now. So
He said everything's cool.
Yeah.
No one
Have
step
you
on no toes.
uh have you ever had you're right there in the middle of the ring, about to get the decision, and then you feel like you did everything that you needed to do to get that decision, right? You talking to the dad in the corner when they're taking the gloves off. You feel good, and then you get in there, and then the decision for some reason goes the other way, right? How do you how do you deal with those situations? And I've seen a couple boxers, novice that didn't like that. They just went to do something else because like never gonna get a fair shake here. Like, how have you dealt with those? And when you're out there competing, it just doesn't go your way.
yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of times where I've thought I've won, and it's very disappointing. Like I thought there was a couple fights where I really thought I did all I could to win. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome, but all I got to do is learn from it. It's always disappointing. I'm a bit like I was saying. I eat whatever I want after I fight. So food makes me happy.
Hey, there
Me
you
too.
go. And do you take a couple days off after a tournament, or are you right back in there that Monday or whenever?
Yeah, mostly a week off. I just like to spend time with family. It's not fair that I'm always in camp, and if sometimes I don't get to be with my family because I have to wake up early to run, then I have to go to school, and then go to the gym. It's not fair that I don't see them at all, and just not make time for them. So mostly in that week off, I just spend time with them.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So do you? I know we have open scoring now, so you get a realistic, real time picture of how the bouts being scored. But say you're in a local bout, are you somehow keeping score in your head and knowing, oh, okay, I'm ahead before the end
Yeah,
of
I would. There would be times where I would be like, "Oh shoot!" I would think I lost a round, so I was like, "All right, let's pick it up." If this game plan's not working, then let's change it. That's where the communication comes with me and my dad. If a game plan isn't working, and we have to change it, and we come out with the outcome, that's a good thing.
and he's pretty blunt with you in the corner, kind of tells you what's what for real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
There's the happy moments. There's the okay moments. There's
You did the
sometimes
tense
you got
moments
to
as
get on
well,
the
right?
yeah, the intense moments.
Most definitely, most definitely.
I
Now,
there'll be times where you're like, all right, you need to win this round if you want to win. You need to. So that really pumps me up. Like, all right, then let's do it.
there you go, there you go. And you know, that dynamic comes out. It seems like that's what's at stake. You're putting in the work, but you're also kind of keeping it light. You're enjoying the whole process, and that's important as well. To be kind of still be infatuated with the sport to continue going on,
Yeah.
especially how hard it is. So, um, as we gather kind of our final questions here, 3 rounds live, number 183. We've been talking to Isaiah Gudino out of La Puente, California, representing La Puente Boxing, currently competing at the junior male 106 division. Uh, how busy are we going to see you this year? I'm assuming we'll see you again at the JOs. When are you going to be competing?
Yeah, hopefully in Junior Olympics. Also hopefully silver gloves, and then obviously in December, well, I'll be there.
and you guys have a junior Olympic qualifier. Why is that? Because you can just register and go, but your guys with Southern California has a actual qualifier to get to the Junior Olympics. Is that just who the LBC is going to financially support?
Well, I think yeah, I believe so. And then all the juniors, whoever wins there here
Mhm.
goes to the national.
Oh, and so, but anybody can go to the national.
I guess so. I mean, I
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it here, but I'm obviously gonna have to fight in 4 weeks to try and qualify
Okay.
with it.
All right.
Yeah, they did it in Illinois. They might still be doing it, but it was for financial assistance and
Yeah.
things. They were
Uh,
able to get funded because yeah, you could literally go up and just sign up, and it should be like it was with tournaments where you qualify. You know, you go to the regionals and you go to
yeah,
nationals. It just seems to be a more natural way to do it. But um, one of the things that I noticed when I posted that we're going to have you on is, I saw, people liking the post or share it or whatever to make sure to tune in for your, conversation with you.
mhm.
How does it feel just having that support? They, believe in what you're doing. They want to see you win. How does it feel just having that community support?
It's good. Family and friends really that pumps me up. Also as a fighter, all the people that watch me also kind of depend on me. Like they hype me up. That's a good thing that I like is having the support to do what I can do to perform.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So, how do how do we follow that journey on social media, man? How do we follow you?
On my Instagram, Isaiah_Gudino.
All right. Instagram's the only one you got.
Yeah, yeah, mostly just
You don't
Instagram.
do TikTok dances.
Nah, I mean, I was thinking about it for a little time. I was like, man, nah, I don't think I'll do
Hey,
TikTok.
never say never, man. Never say never.
Uh,
Hey, do you have a nickname yet, or you got one that they assigned to
yeah,
you or something?
yeah, it's in Spanish. It's Huesos.
Wessel Bones.
Bones.
Yeah,
Okay.
as
Hey, I
a
like that.
as a little kid, I was always super skinny and everything, and
Man,
then
you're still super skinny.
Yeah.
child, dude.
It is funny what they say when I was a kid. Hey, man, how old are you, man? You're still a kid.
And,
And you're still super skinny.
Man, hey, it's
hey, but that's why it's my nickname.
hey, there you
Yeah.
go. And I think it fits. Hey, you should definitely keep it. Yeah, I think one of the surprising things of the conversation was in the beginning when you just said you've been doing this for about 2 years, a little over 2 years.
Mhm.
It's impressive, especially going on some of the competition that you've been going up against. You're constantly in the semis or in the finals,
Yeah.
and as you move through junior youth and beyond, uh, you know, you can look at the rule book. Some of the some of those exchanges kind of dictate who's going to win the bout. What do you think is going to take for you? What do you need to work on to separate yourself from the competition as you go continue on your amateur career?
I mean, mostly, my dad just tells me, you do you, you do what you've been working on, you do what you know how to do. And obviously, if I had, like I said, if I have to box, then I'll box. If I have to brawl, then I'll brawl. But mostly, my dad just tells me, I'll just do what I've been learning, just do what I've been doing.
There you go. You trusting the process is
Yeah.
what it is. So, Coach, you got anything else?
Nah, get those shout outs, man.
Yeah, shout outs and thank yous to everybody that has helped you get to where you're at so far.
Yeah, I just want to thank my sponsors to Team Casas Real Estate, Grow Organics, El Pueblo Burgers here in La Puente, and also my dad, La Puente Boxing Gym. He's been also a really big impact in my boxing career so far,
That's
and
what's
my
up.
family.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta make sure to mention your brothers, your mom, or you're gonna hear it.
Yeah,
They're
my,
gonna,
my brother Kevin. I think you guys know Kevin Gudino.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's hopefully he comes back soon, to fight. But
okay,
yeah,
definitely. So, Isaiah, I appreciate taking the time to talk to us here for a
thank
little
you guys.
bit. Are you training after this? Because I know it's early out there in California, or are you?
Yeah, I might try in a little bit.
There you go. It seems like that's like behind behind the camera or something, like making sure that you're ready to go right after this. So
Yeah.
so that's what we got. For everybody who tuned in to the end, appreciate it. Make sure to tune in Thursday. We're going to talk to Orlando Zamora. He did a real good job at the National Open. We'll talk to him and see what he's doing out there. Torla, California, I believe is where they're from. And I've been clearing up some tape from the National Open. Just posted up Montalvo versus Ali just a couple days ago. So we're gonna just keep doing that. I think I got one from Isaiah, so people can start seeing him a little closer. And that's it. That's all we got. So go to that burger place or that taco place out there. I'm gonna go eat some food here. I don't know what you're doing, Coach Terry, but we'll be back here Thursday. So you guys have a good night. Take it easy.
All right, take care, guys.